Welcome to the Fitmama podcast, where it's all about gaining your health back as a busy woman and mom, and doing it without sacrificing time with your family or business. Here is your host, mompreneur and Fitmama health coach, Angela Campbell.
Let's get rocking and rolling. So on today's training, again, I'm going to talk about confidence. If you are someone right now that is lacking confidence, even starting your health journey, obviously this group and this is going to be posted on our Fitmama podcast later. So if you're listening to this later on the podcast, if you are someone right now that is lacking confidence to even start your health journey, like you haven't even started, you won't start, and you keep putting it off because maybe you failed in the past, so you don't believe in yourself that you can actually do it. If this is you, today's training is totally for you. If you lack the confidence in even showing up for things with your family, maybe your friends invite you out, but you keep saying no because you don't have that confidence in yourself right now to even go anywhere, right? Whether it's because of where you're at physically, mentally, you name it. I mean, there can be so many things going on right now in your world that will cause you to have that lack of confidence, right? So maybe that's you. Maybe you lack, maybe for my women entrepreneurs in here, put entrepreneur in the comment. Let me know if that is you, because I speak to a lot of you and I am one. So I relate to you so much. Maybe you are lacking confidence to even run your business. I can't tell you how many times I've heard this lately with some people just not feeling confident in their own skin to even show up as the leader that they want to show up with, or show up as, or even post anything on social media right now, even trying to promote your business because you just don't feel good about yourself. Any of these things, today is for you. Okay, so if you lack confidence, type the word confidence below. I just want to see it. Hey, Kelly, what is up? Hey, Priscilla. Yes, so what sparked me to talk about confidence today, you guys? First, I get my inspired by conversations I have with y'all. Okay. And that is really what sparks out. What is it that I'm going to talk about today? It comes from conversations with you ladies. So if this resonates with you, we may have had a conversation lately about this very topic. But the second thing that inspired me to do this is, again, I'm an entrepreneur, so I love personal development. I'm always trying to grow myself because I can only be so much. If I'm not growing myself, I won't be very good for you guys. And so I did a training this past week with Brendan Burchard. If you know who Brendan Burchard is, like, he's phenomenal. And it was a training in confidence. And so the framework that I'm going to share with you guys today, there's 6 things I'm going to talk about that are necessary for you to help with staying confident if you're already confident. Because even if you're a super confident person, this video is for you. This training is for you, because oftentimes we can be super confident in a lot of things, right? But then something triggers our mind for doubt to kick in, or maybe I failed, so that confidence starts to get less and less and less. Or I'm on that health journey, because so many women right now, if you're on a weight loss journey, put weight loss in the comments if that is you. Or maybe you haven't started one, but you know you want to, need to, then put weight loss or whatever your goal is right now. Again, all of these things are they're all intertwined. And again, if you follow me at all, if I'm helping you on a weight loss journey, know that the mission and like the programs I run, like, we do it all. I don't truly believe you can lose weight and keep it off if you don't do multiple things. Eating good, eating better and cleaner is obviously a big piece of it. So is fitness, and that looks different for everybody. And so is mindset. If you're not working on this, it's going to be really hard to even lose weight. Okay, so that's, again, confidence is a big factor. And so let's get into it. There's 6 things that, again, this is not my framework. This is Brendan Burchard. I love him to death. He's an amazing entrepreneur, coach, personal development, and clarity is number 1. So let's dive into it. There's 6 things that I'm going to talk about. Clarity is number 1 piece of the framework. Okay, and this is a big one, and I'm going to go into probably more detail on this one than the other 5 things. So clarity is something super important, and it's something that sometimes we have it, maybe one day we don't. Sometimes we have it, maybe one day we don't. Clarity has to do with how you want to show up for everything that you're doing. Clarity on what is it do I want? What in the world do I want? So if you're watching me right now and you're able to type, tell me what you want. What is it that you want? What is the goal that you're chasing, or goals? Maybe you want to grow a business and be successful. That's a goal, right? Do you have clarity on what exact business it is that you want to do? I've been an entrepreneur for 7 going on 8 years now. And there's been a lot of my journey I didn't have clarity, honestly, until I hit rock bottom in my own health journey as a mom and a fitness coach, and all the things that I was trying to do, but everything was falling apart. It all had to do with me not taking care of me. And that's where Fitmama coaching launched. That's where our programs came from. It was me going through the trials and tribulations and the failures of hitting that rock bottom piece, and had led me to what I do now, right? I didn't have clarity though in the past. So clarity is huge. Now, what do I mean by that? Clarity meaning, what is your health goal? If you're on a health goal right now, you want to lose weight, you want to feel better, you want to, whatever your goal is. I usually hear when I ask someone, what is your goals? Weight loss. What exactly does that mean to you though? Like, I want you to dig deeper. You got to find clarity on what I want to lose weight, but why do I want to lose weight? How much weight do I want to lose? Where do I want to go? What do I want to be able to do? What do I want to visualize myself to look like when I actually lose that weight, right? Got to have clarity. And if you don't have clarity, it's going to be really hard to show up and do the things that you have to do if you don't really even know where you're going. Okay. So clarity has to do with, what do you want? So if I want to challenge you right now on a scale of 1 to 10, on a 1 being, I have no idea what I want. I have no idea what goal I'm trying to chase. I have no idea what direction I want to go in. That's a 1, meaning I don't have any clarity at all. And a 10 having, man, I know exactly where my clarity is. I know exactly where I'm going, what I want to do. I just have to get there. Right? And that's 10. Okay. So if you're watching right now, or even if you're listening later on the podcast, write it down right now. What is your number? Like, where from a scale of 1 to 10, where do you find that you are at in clarity, knowing what exactly you want in your life, in your health, in your journey? Okay. And rate yourself. This is one of the big things that Brendon Burchard trained on. He talked about, you got to rate yourself. You got to be self-aware. You got to be self-aware. If we are not self-aware of who we are on the inside or even up here, then how in the world do we expect to lose weight? Right. So we have to have that clarity. Clarity being, how do you want to show up? I feel like this is a really powerful one too. Clarity, where do I want to be? Who is the person that I want to show up as? What version of me do I want to show up daily as a leader in my business, leading people to grow their businesses? Because I know a lot of you guys in this group are entrepreneurs and do that. You're leaders. Okay. Like, what is the type of leader that I want to show up as? What is the type of mom I want to show up as? What is the type of wife I want to show up as? Or maybe what is the type of mom I want to show up? What is the type of nurse I want to show up? Whatever the occupation it is that you do, right? How do you want to show up for these people is super powerful. And it's so much more powerful than, I want to lose some weight. Okay. So I really, 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 really encourage you to get some clarity. If you don't know where that is, send me a message if you need to talk about it and figure it out. I'd love to chat with you about it. This is something, again, I struggled with for a long time. Now I'm like on a mission, and I know exactly where God is taking me and what he's got me on this world to do. And that's help other women that are in a place where I was, to get out of it and get to be the healthier, happier versions of themselves that is flowing, and they're healthier and they're living life and they're more active with their family. They're happier because they feel better and they're putting themselves first again. These are the things that I know now more than ever that I'm meant to be doing in this world. Right. So clarity, number 1, like I said, that's going to be the biggest one that I was going to talk about. If you don't know what it is, do some brainstorming, figure it out. How do you want to show up? And then go backwards. What is it going to take me to do to actually show up as that version of me? Okay, maybe I need to lose some weight. How much do I need to lose? And then go deeper. Like, what am I going to have to do to get there? Right. And then number 2 is congruence. Okay. Number 2 of this framework is congruence. And the biggest thing that I learned about this one is being in alignment with you. Okay. If you guys know Echo, give Echo a shout out in the comments, because she's phenomenal at this. If you don't know Echo Summerhill, you need to follow her because she talks about this a lot. She has a really amazing training on feeling aligned with yourself that I go back to all the time. Because if you ever get to a point where you're starting to feel super tired, I feel super burnt out, or for those that are entrepreneurs, you're going to totally get this one. Maybe you grow your business online and you're in social media and you post daily to inspire people and to share what it is you do and do all the things that we all do as business owners, right? But maybe you're not doing it because you're so like you have a mental block where you're like, man, I don't even know what to post. I got nothing. I have nothing up here. Have you ever felt that way? Put me in the comments if you have, because I guarantee we all have at some point of it. And this is what Echo has taught me a lot about. She teaches on alignment. And if you're feeling unaligned, the biggest signs about that is you're usually tired, burnt out, lost, have no direction, don't know where to go. You're just kind of surviving, just kind of going through the motions. You're not showing up as that person that you want to be. You don't even have something in your mind to post, right? That I do that often. I go through, my husband calls me a workaholic because I just love what I do so much that my brain is always like, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this. Then I have a hard time sometimes just put all things aside, put it up, put the work up, put your phone up, put the computers, turn them off, leave all the work aside, and go do what helps you feel aligned. And you got to figure out what that is for you. For me, the biggest thing, and again, I felt this way a couple weeks ago, and I was like, man, I got nothing. Like the creativity is not flowing. I have nothing to even post. I don't even know what to say. And what happened was I went back to the training that I have with Echo, and all the signs came. I started to feel tired, burnt out. I had no creativity. What was I doing? I wasn't being intentional with all the things. I was being intentional with work, but I wasn't being and I was getting my workouts in and eating good. That piece, I'm good. I have my own coach that helps me stay on point. But I wasn't being intentional and detoxing from everything. I had to go take some intentional time with my family. That's when I feel most aligned. So you have to figure out what works best for you. For me, when I'm off and it's not working, I know it's time for me to put this thing up. I put this thing up for 2 days. That when that time came, the whole entire weekend, Saturday, Sunday, I may have gotten on an hour a tops. I don't even think I got on that much for the entire 2 days. And I did nothing but play outside with the kids. I played puzzles. I played Barbies. I had conversations with my husband. I mean, little things like that. That's when I feel most aligned, is when my family gets a lot of me and not distracted me, because I'm over here trying to multitask and work. I love multitasking. And as a woman, I'm a big fan of it, but there's a time to do it. There's a time not to do it. And so I had to just put it aside. I had to discipline myself, put this up in my family box, which we have, that says, no, put your phones in here. It's family time. And literally just go be a kid, jumping on the trampoline, doing all the things that I know makes me feel happy and that makes me feel aligned. So you have to figure out what that is for you. It may not be jumping around outside with your kids, or it may be. But if you're not being intentional with those little bitty things, then nothing's going to flow. So that's what I did. And I also spent a day of resting and sleeping. My little girl wasn't feeling good, so I slept. I rested. I actually rested. How many of you guys have a hard time resting? Put rest in the comments if you struggle. It was crazy because that same exact weekend in church, our pastor talked about having the discipline to know when you were tired and you need to step back and take a break so that you don't get burnt out. He talked about that, and I was like, I looked at my husband and I'm like, is he talking to me? I'm pretty sure he's talking to me. And so at that very point, I looked at my husband that like right after church, I'm like, I need to listen to what he's saying. I'm feeling that moment again. And it's time for me to take a break. I need to detox a little bit from my phone. I need to take some time off of work and just do nothing but be with you guys. He's always obviously on board with that. So again, congruent is number 2 piece of the framework, and it's just feeling aligned with you. You got to know what do I do, or when do I feel my best? It's when I do what and when I'm with who. Right now, so many of us are having a hard time with one of the other components, is connection, which I'll get into in a second. I'm getting ahead of myself. But if you have a hard time, I was talking to a coach, another coach friend of mine yesterday, and with quarantines and all the things going on, a lot of us feel almost isolated, and it's hurting a lot of people mentally. So what he expressed, he was getting to that point, and he said now he has a weekly meeting with his best friends, and it's via Zoom because they can't go out, and because they're in Canada, and I know they're a lot more, I think, strict than we are right here in Texas. But that's what he said. I was losing, I didn't have connection with people. I was literally going crazy. So now they just do a Zoom, him and his wife, and then that couple, and they hang out. It's on Zoom, but it's better than nothing. Anyway, that got off that topic. Congruence, you got to be aligned with yourself. And if you're not, figure out what makes you that way. Number 3 is competence. And here's what competence is being good at something and knowing what you're good at, but also challenging yourself. Okay, so competence, he talks a lot about understanding. Again, it all goes back to being self-aware. If you're not feeling confident with yourself, first, know what you're good at, know what your weaknesses are. That's a huge thing if you don't know what those things are. But don't only, I hear this often, and I heard somebody say this the other day, I can't remember who it was, but it was talking about only focusing on your strengths. Well, that's a big mistake. If you know what you're strong at and that's all you focus on, well, how are you ever going to grow and be competent at the things that you're not good at? Okay, and that's where he talked about on this piece of the framework, number 3 being competence, knowing what you're good at, knowing what you're not so good at, know what your weaknesses are, know what you need the most work on, and then challenge yourself to do that. You got to do that. Okay. And that's what's so exciting. If you, when I was listening to this, I was like, man, I'm a note taker. So I was like, notes. This is some good stuff right here. Being competent, being competent and getting good at something. What does that take? It takes doing it, right? It takes action, and it takes doing it over and 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 over. And then you're going to slowly build competence at it. You're going to get better at it by doing it. Maybe that's your workouts right now. Like I talked to some people that are kind of scared to even start them, do them, because they don't feel like they're good at them, or they don't really know what to do, or maybe they tried them in the past and it didn't work for them then. So why are they going to work now? It's still, you have to challenge yourself to do those things that maybe you're not so good at. And slowly get your reps in, and you're going to slowly get better and better. But each time you do it too, you're going to feel more confident in doing them. Do it. You got to do it. You got to challenge yourself to do it. Don't only do the things that are easy and come natural to you. Challenge yourself to do the things you maybe hate, but you need to do them. Just for example, like if those of you guys that are entrepreneurs and run businesses, I'll use this story because live videos right here. If you knew me like a couple years ago, you not ever going to see me on no live video. No way, no how. Being in network marketing for like 7 years, that was what really helped me get out of my comfort zone and helped me just open doors for so many other things. But it was live videos is a perfect example. So if you or someone can totally relate to this, put video in the comments, because I guess it's been almost 3 years ago now. I would not be caught dead doing a live video. If I even thought about it, I would sweat profusely. I was scared to death. I was like, no way. Everybody's going to judge me. I'm going to screw this up and I'm going to do something wrong. My first few pop up in memories every once in a while now. And I'm like, oh man, I was bad. But you know what? I'll leave them up there. And it just took me doing them. I actually got in a challenge. One of our leaders did a 21-day challenge. Like, you have to go live every day, 21 days. Don't care what it's about, but you got to go live. And that was the best thing I ever did for myself. And it got me comfortable doing videos. And now, like, I actually enjoy them. I love them. I love getting on here and talking to y'all. So I love that as an example. And look at it as your health journey. Look at it, you don't have to do perfection, and don't wait till you're perfect, and don't wait till you're confident to actually start your workouts, to actually start working on your nutrition, to actually do all the things that you desire to do. You have to do them. Like my business coach now, he always uses the phrase imperfect action. You got to take imperfect action to be able to get to where you want to go, but also you're building confidence along the way by doing these things. Okay, so you don't have competence, which leads to confidence, until you actually do the do. So challenge yourself right now. And if you're listening and you're able, put in the comments, like, what is something right now that you need to challenge yourself to do, but you've been putting it off because you don't think you're good at it. So you haven't been doing it. You just keep putting it off. Know that we all have things. I have plenty of things I could probably make in the list of things that I don't do. Mine a lot of times has to do with, like, I'll tell you one right now, like just tax work, number. I don't like that kind of stuff. Hate it. Not my thing. So I put it off. I'm not good at it. I don't like it. So I keep putting it off, but it's a huge thing I have to do. Right? So you don't get in trouble. But Again, confidence. Share something below that you know you need to do and you're not doing it, and challenge yourself. Do it. The number 4 piece of the component is connections. I already hit a little bit on this one. Connections. And I mean with 2 things. Connections with others, because we're in a weird time in this world with all the things going on that has gotten us lost, and a lot of people are literally struggling mentally, even down and into depression, and a lot of things going on because of the loss of connections. We don't get to be around as many people as we normally are. Connections are a positive thing. Very important not to be just isolated and all about you, because it literally will start screwing with you up here. Connections with others is so important. So what do I mean by that? Or how can I change that? Well, if you're stuck and you're not able to like go out and do certain things with people, that's okay. That's okay. There's ways around it. Again, just like I talked about my friend who they do Zoom meetings now with their favorite couple that they weren't able to hang out with. Now they do that. Do that. Do that with your family. Do that with your friends. Do that with people, right? Okay. Ideally, if you can get in person, even better. Even better. But on another note, use this group. If you're in our Facebook group, if you're listening to this later on the podcast and you're not in our group yet, get in our group. It's acfitmama.com/Facebook. It's all women. That's the only rule. You have to be a woman. Sorry, guys. But connections with others is huge. If you have no accountability and nobody even talk to, I talk to a lot of women lately that don't have, even though they live in a house full of people, nobody is on the same page with wanting to get healthy. So they feel alone. And so I highly encourage you to get connected with people in this group. Share. There's people in this group sharing stuff all day long. Why? Because they love the connection and the camaraderie and the culture and the support that they're getting from other people. And that is huge. And that's the culture that we are striving all the time, every day, to grow inside our Fit Mompreneur group and community. It's a judge-free zone. It is a positive. If anything comes up negative or bashing someone, it gets deleted. So if you ever see anything like that, report it. I had some this last week, and delete. It's not allowed. It's all about love in this group. And so there's a great place for connections. The second thing that you have to be connected with, though, is yourself. If you're not connected with you, yourself, your inner self, who you are, that's a problem. And that's where the confidence starts to lack. You've got things in your head that constantly talk you out of doing things. You've got negative self-talk, all the self-sabotage going on in your head. Maybe it started with yourself, or maybe it's something someone told you in the past that is forever embraced in your mind. So now you have their opinion of you stuck right here, and it's constantly bringing you down. Like, these are little things. Being connected with yourself is huge. And again, my favorite person to follow about this one is Echo, because she teaches on this like crazy. You got to be connected to your soul. You got to be connected to, and I know that's going to be different for everybody. For me, it's my faith. I got to be close to him, number one. And if I'm not close to God, like, I feel off. I feel out of whack. Him first, and then it comes me. And then it comes me, because I know that I have to be connected to me. I got to take care of me. I got to be selfish in the sense that I am taking care of me and pouring into me all the time. Maybe that's investing financially in myself. I've done that more this past year than I ever have in my entire life. And I don't feel a single bit bad about it, because I need it so that I can show up for y'all, so I can show up for my team, so I can show up for my kids, so I can show up for my spouse. Okay, so connections with others, but connections with yourself. Some of you can meditate. If you meditate, put meditate in the comments. I know a lot of people in this group, there's a lot of women in this group that do meditate, and it's a super powerful practice. Okay. Maybe that's just literally detoxing from your phone, like I talked about. You guys, we can get sucked into social media all the time. It's not worth it. It's not worth bringing you down and taking you out of alignment with yourself if you're just stuck on social media all the time. One of the best things I have started doing is putting limitations on my phone. Go to your screen time, put limitations. You can set a timer that your apps aren't even allowed to come on or be accessed until a certain time. Mine shows 9 a.m. Is usually when they're not supposed to be accessible, right? Now you can bypass those, but you got to stay strong and not bypass them. So there's a lot of things. Just being connected with yourself is huge. And that just takes being self-aware. Maybe that's journaling for you. Maybe that's detoxing from social media. Maybe that's going for walks when you feel stressed. Maybe that's understanding who you are stressed. Maybe that's taking the Enneagram test. Have you, any of you guys watching right now, done that? If you have, drop what number you are below. That's something Coach Erica is phenomenal and studying it and learning it and coaching all of our women in our programs through it now. Or if she hasn't yet, she's going to. Oh, such a deep thing to learn about yourself, who you are, how you react, what are your responses, what makes you tick. Take the test if you haven't. It's powerful. And then there's two more pieces of the framework to build confidence, you guys. Capability is another one, which kind of goes along with confidence. I already kind of dove into this a lot. Capability, again, capability and confidence kind of go together. It's just a matter about self-trust, trusting yourself to be able to accomplish something and doing it do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Maybe that's your workouts. Maybe that's meal prepping. Maybe that's changing up my food. Maybe that's tracking my food. Maybe that's fasting because that's the route you're going, or whatever it is that you are going. There's so many different things that you can talk about with this one. Maybe that's live videos. Those of you guys that are entrepreneurs, like do one, and then come in here and tell us all about it. Celebrate it, right? But having self-trust and capability all go along the lines of taking that that action and doing it again and again and again and again and again. Here's the key though, that I haven't talked about yet, is you got to celebrate your wins. You have to celebrate your wins, you guys. If you're not celebrating yourself and never feeling proud about yourself, no matter what you accomplish, you're hurting this right here. And I know it's really hard to celebrate your wins. And we do that every day with the women that we're coaching. A lot of times it's us helping you see what you won at. What did you win at? So what the scale didn't move. So what the inches didn't change. Or maybe one did and the other one didn't. Maybe one went up, who knows? What are some wins that you celebrated? Man, I worked out 3 times this week. I haven't worked out 3 times in a week in 15 years. That's a win, you guys. Or how about maybe your weakness is chocolate? Maybe you used to go to chocolate all the time every day. And you know what? I went 5 days in a row with no chocolate. Well, darn it, that's a win and you need to celebrate it. You got to be proud of yourself. Celebrating your wins triggers these things up here. And it helps you understand that, you know what? I did this once, I can do it again. I went 5 days without chocolate. That means I can keep going. And then treat yourself maybe once a week to that thing that you like, but you don't have to have it every day. Right? So take the repetitive actions that you know you need to do, but then celebrate your wins. Okay, if you currently have some wins you need to celebrate, drop them below. I'd love to see some wins. Let's celebrate with you. I love every Friday. I try to make a post in here on Fridays that says, what are your wins this week? And I want you to share them. Share them. Again, if you're watching later and you're on the podcast, join our group. acfitmama.com/Facebook is the easiest route just to get to it. Okay, and then the last thing that I want to talk about, and we'll end here. Building confidence has to do with feeling good about yourself, right? Building confidence is loving who you are, feeling good about yourself. And I don't just mean feeling good about what you look like in the mirror. Like there's so much more to it than that. Feeling good about yourself. Contribution is the 6th piece of this framework. And what does that even mean? Giving to others. How many of you guys really thrive off of giving to others? I know a lot of women in this group, like that makes them feel alive. They feel good about themselves. And I don't mean just taking care of the household and doing your duties that you have to do for your kids and your family all the time. Like, I mean deeper than that. Contribution, giving to others makes you feel good about yourself. If you agree with that, put agree, because I 100% agree with this. I know whenever I give, whether that's my time or whatever the scenario may be, filling your cup by giving to others, taking care of others, talking to others. Maybe giving is something as simple as giving a compliment to someone else that you know they probably haven't heard in a long time, how awesome they are, how good they look, or any of those things. Maybe that's a charity. Maybe that's feeding the homeless. Maybe that's doing some charity work with your family. Maybe that's the list can go on and on and on, but you guys, the 6th piece of contribution, or the 6th piece of the framework to actually build yourself up as a confident person, is contribution. Like, what do you do for others right now? And again, I don't mean taking care of the kids and the husband and doing the regular duties that I have to do every day. I mean, go deeper than that. And again, it doesn't have to be money. It can be time. I know one of my favorite things, I was talking to somebody the other day, is giving back in any form or fashion that I can. And currently, I've always had this dream as a mom. I've always wanted to make sure my kids understand what it is to be fortunate and to take care of others. So this year I'm looking for something to do with my daughter because she's 6 now. So she's getting to an age where I feel like she's ready. I always had the envision because I had a friend that used to do it all the time. His boys were young and he would always take them to feed the homeless. And it was a great thing that they did together. And he also helped them see, he wanted his kids to see at a young age, like what it is to give back to people, what it is that other people live like. And it helped them to understand how blessed they are, right? So this year, that's a goal of mine, a mission that I'm on to help to take my daughter to do something like that. And my son will be 3 in a few weeks, so not ready for him, but when he gets bigger, we want to do the same thing for him. We did that one year around Christmas. We went into a neighborhood that was, a lot less fortunate, and a lot of us had trucks full of toys and just delivered it door to door, and it was great. But my daughter was like 2 or 3, so she didn't understand it. So, and that's what I mean by giving back. Again, you don't have to do something as that. That may not fuel your fire at all, but contribution is huge. Giving to others, whatever you can give. Love, friendship, time, doesn't have to be financial. That alone will help you feel good in here. And then you start feeling good about yourself. And then all the things build. Okay. So again, confidence. If you're lacking confidence in any of these areas I talked about today, I hope this helped give you some value or some insight, little bitty things that you can start doing to slowly build your confidence. Okay. And here's a challenge. If you're up for this, put challenge below. I'd love to see it. Maybe we'll coordinate it and do it together as a group here coming soon. But one of the biggest challenges that Brendan Burchard said to do, if you're lacking confidence, take 10 days in a row and write down, journal. Each day you have to write down 10 things that are positive about yourself. 10 days in a row, 10 days in a row, 10 things that are positive about yourself. If you're up for the challenge, put challenge below it. And if you do it, I would love for you to come here inside our group and post it daily. Let us know, let us see it, let us love on you, let us hold you accountable, and let us help you build your confidence. Okay, so I hope you got value from this. I love this topic. It's so awesome. And it's so important. Even if you're on a weight loss journey, trying to feel better in your own skin, confidence, it all starts with there. We do a lot of work right here in any of our programs because what's going on right here is going to affect if you can lose weight or how you feel about where you're at right now. So again, that's it. Hope you got some value. Questions, ask below. If you're lost, have no idea where to go, message me. And I mean, we can get on the phone, spend a few minutes on the phone. I can share maybe a direction to take and where to go to get you started with something. So that's it. Every Thursday, 11 a.m. Central here in this group, another training for you, always coming to you. Next week, I'm having a guest. She's going to come on and help us talk about thyroid. If you have thyroid issues, you're going to want to be on next week's. You're going to want to be on next week's training. And that's it. You guys have a happy Thursday. Talk soon. Bye.